What's up, guys? Greeting people once again. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Brian Masika Reaction. So, there's this Asian woman who went viral that she claims that Jamaica language and accent came from the Irish. So, the Jamaican people didn't just let her go on, but they had some answers to her. Again, she teaches them about their culture and history, but they didn't just sit back and relax. They had some answers to her. So guys, I want us to watch this video and I'll be back with more comments. So remember, if it is your very first time coming across any of my video, remember to like, share, comment, and not forgetting kindly to subscribe. So all the credits goes to the original creator of this video. Let's watch together and I'll be back with more comments. Enjoy.
Ministry of Education, I have a bone to pick with you. Why are so many Jamaicans ignorant of their own history? Why so much dunce people in my comment section? Oh my God, people, stop it. The Jamaican accent is not an African dialect. An accent, like everything associated with modern Jamaican heritage, is in fact the byproduct of the cultural melting pot that our motto embraces. In fact, in terms of cadence, it's most similar to an Irish accent.
I've been shook enough now, to be honest, since the racing is a bit tired now and the legs are like jelly, but yeah, I suppose we did a bit of celebrating and did the podium thing and got to put on the podium pants as well.
You see, as early as 1656, Oliver Cromwell ordered 2,000 Irish children to be taken to Jamaica and sold to English settlers. The extent of Irish immigration to Jamaica was so prolific in the centuries to follow that 25% of Jamaican citizens can claim Irish ancestry, and this includes Bob Marley and Marcus Garvey. So if you never know, now you know. Again, out of many, one people. My fellow Jamaicans, me come for drink milk, but be there cocoa. It is abundantly clear to me that there are people who live foreign and identify as Jamaicans, but you don't have one of these. And while you're entitled to your opinion, one is a set of rascal dunce. So let me set the record straight. Number one, Jamaica is not an African nation. It's not a black country. We identify as an ethnically diverse society. People, please just stop it. Out of many, one people, Jamaicans. We do not hyphenate and we do not encourage separation by race. Number two, this one's mine. This is my granny one. This one is my mom's. And this is grandpa. Yeah, it's hardcover. Grandpa died a long time ago. If you are planning a trip to Jamaica and you don't own one of these, you're going to have to book a return flight from where you came. These are the rules. I'm just laying it down for you. If you go to Jamaica and you don't have one of these, immigration will stamp your passport and give you a set amount of time that you're allowed to stay in Jamaica. And if you overstay your welcome, we put you back on a plane and we send you back. You, not me, you back to the country for which you came.
Chinese Jamaican women
Now,
is teaching Jamaican descendants their history.
Had comprehension issues, so we're going to try this again. There is a fundamental difference between Chinese laborers that were brought to Jamaica in the 1800s as indentured laborers and Chinese corporations linked to the People's Republic of China that is a communist government. So over here, we have these people and they don't like these people, but they're the same people technically. So these people move from Yasso and come over Yasso with these people here. All right? These people soon come back. Now, when these people arrive, there are these people. As you can see, there's plenty Coca-Cola. We have ginger beer, Inca Cola, and orange cola. All right? Now, at first, these people didn't get along because they are separated by culture and language. But eventually, these people started to understand each other, and they're like, one day, hey, let's run a boat. So then these people brought their ingredients to the pot, and these people took from their culture and put their ingredients into the pot. This is out of many sodas, one stew. Why are so many Jamaicans ignorant of their own history?
Why do people from other races always want to be the historian for black people? Mama, you hear me? Leave Jamaican black people history alone. Tell us about your Chinese history in Jamaica. See me? Tell us why your family left your massive country of 3.7 million square miles to come live in a country that is just over 4,000 square miles, to set up shop in poor communities to live off of black people. Tell us why. Give us the blood-clad history on that. You all have made your riches and your wealth from these poor black people. No. Tell me something good that you've given back to these poor black people. Tell me something great that you've done for these poor communities. You've been in Jamaica for centuries, living off poor black people. Without black people, you would be nothing. Some of these stupid poor people neglect buying from their own people just to come and support you and your family at your store. Yet still, most of you don't have a black friend. See me? The most black people you guys speak to are the ones that you employ, and you watch them like a hawk to see if they're gonna steal from you. You will never see Mr. Chin and his family at any community functions. See me? Because them not deal with black people. You see me? You will never see Mr. Chin's son chilling out at a dance with him black friends, because him not have black friends. You'll never see Mr. Chin's daughter at a party with her black friends, because she not keep black friends. You understand? So much for this blood-clad idiot matter out of many one bomber-clad people. No, part of the Chinese culture and history is that they eat dogs, they eat cats, they eat worms, they eat roaches, and they eat lizards. I remember growing up in Kingston. When black people dogs would come up missing, they would blame the Chinese. See? And they would tell us not to go buy lunch from the Chinese restaurants because the Chinese put dog meat in their patties. You see me? I remember seeing a picture in the newspaper that was taken at the back of a Chinese restaurant, and it had dog parts on it.
A number of people have tagged me in a video with this woman talking about, you know, Jamaicans, they are foreign attack, this and that, and if you don't have a Jamaican passport, you are not Jamaican. Listen, I'm gonna do an in-depth video on my YouTube channel, but let me just say this for now. A whole lot of y'all were in my comments defending this woman when she said we are a bunch of dunce. Like on love to do with light bright people, a bunch of run come to come rescue her because she is only talking about the accent. It was never about the accent, and with every other video she's making it very clear, it's not about the accent. It's always been about erasing our African identity, because if we cling to our African identity, then we disrupt this picture of the racial harmony that they want to create. And without this picture of the racial harmony, then they feel that their positions of power at the top of the social hierarchy is threatened. So now she feels emboldened to tell y'all who is Jamaican and who isn't. I'm not gonna stitch any more of that content or say anything more about it because it looks like she's posting through other people, and I personally want to address her directly. So I'm not gonna stitch any more of that content because if she's hiding her identity, then you can't confront her. So it's a waste of time. She's just seeking attention. Anyway, in the same way, I will not be schooled about what my language is or what my identity is. I'm not going to be schooled by any light bright about who I am or whether or not I'm Jamaican. Y'all are going to have to sit with the fact that someone whose ancestors came to Jamaica for economic benefit is able to tell the descendants of the people whose blood was shed for the freedom of this country that they are not Jamaicans.
So there's a video going around of what appears to be a Chinese Jamaican woman really coming for black African people from Jamaica, particularly those of us who live a foreign, in relation to issues of blackness, Africanness, and the possession of a passport or lack thereof. People are sending me this video and ask me what I have to say about it. And the reality is, I have nothing to say to she. Any non-African person from Jamaica or anywhere else in the world that has a problem with Africans from Jamaica, yard or foreign, asserting our Africanness and our blackness, that a feeding problem. This is not something that we should feel the need to justify, apologize for, or even explain, especially when you consider the colonial and neo-colonial experience of African Jamaicans and how that results in the migration of African Jamaicans, as well as the extent to which the colonizer attempted to sever us from a sense of heritage and a sense of culture. That alone tell you everything what you need to know about the mentality of the smaddy will make that the video there. So when I have nothing more to say about that except to affirm the teachings of Marcus Mosiah Garvey when Africans of his time were being challenged in relation to our affirmation and assertion of racial and cultural pride. Let contrary sentiments and cross opinions go to the winds. We are entitled to our own opinions and not obligated or bound by the opinions of others. Awo. Having said that, I was listening to Running African, hosted by Sister Kabo Ma'at Keru Wadeya, and she featured a story on some events and conversations that were taking place in Jamaica on this issue. Take a listen.
You notice that there is a big conversation going on here in Jamaica right now about Mark Golding and whether or not he's black or white. And you heard a response where, you know, we have all kinds of people, because the motto is out of many one. So this is what we're hearing now, right? That, we have Chinese Jamaican, we have Indian Jamaican, and so on. And the person who was speaking, I think it might have been Mr. Morgan himself, you know, called out every other race Jamaican apart from African Jamaican. That in itself was telling.
So it does seem, yes, that the African Jamaicans' assertion and affirmation of our Africanness does seem to make some people very, very uncomfortable. And we should be aware of this and what agenda it serves. But beyond that, make we assert our Africanness and our blackness without fear or favor. And not make nobody make you feel shame or make you feel like you do them something wrong when you assert your blackness and your Africanness. Our heritage and our culture cannot be bound by a passport and cannot be dictated to us by anybody other than ourselves if we are guided by the principle of self-determination.
So you think you're English? You think you're Anglo-Saxon? I wish some of you would go to England and say some of these things to these white people, because they'll quickly put you in your place and tell you to go back to Africa. You are the only ones who don't know where you're from, and it's really sad. Yes, you speak Patois. What do you think Patois is made up of? A lot of it is African words. And if you really want to know what tribes we came from, it's so easy. Just look at the language that we speak, which is Patois. A lot of the words are from the Ashanti tribe. I'm just surprised that a lot of Jamaicans don't know these things. You know, it's basic history, really. But it just shows you how much the education system has failed us, because we don't know ourselves. Most Jamaicans struggle with English. In fact, not just Jamaicans. Most black people in the West who speak the language of their colonizers struggle with the language. That's why you end up with Creole and Patois. We have to mix up the African in there to express ourselves. English is not ours. It belongs to another group of people. Languages are born out of a culture. English didn't come from us. There are so many simple things that tell us who we are. There's so much African retention around us, including the fact that we speak patois. It's not rocket science. And it's just shameful to see this display of ignorance on social media. I'm so tired of this narrative. It is simply not true. And I don't know where it started. I don't know who is trying to create this propaganda that Africans don't accept us in the diaspora. It is not true. A great majority of them love us and embrace us and want us to come over there and connect with them. Sure, you have a few that may be saying, oh, you know, don't come over here. But I mean, it's one and two, and most of them are just not in their right minds. Just like you have piece of shit Jamaicans, but I'm not going around and saying, oh, Jamaica is hell because you have a few people who aren't very nice. Check the comment section of the last video that I posted. It is full of comments from the continent, all over the continent. Even on Instagram, I have 50k followers on Instagram. About 90% of them are Africans. Africans love us, especially Jamaicans. Okay, maybe they don't like Black Americans so much, right? And you can understand, you know, I love my Black American brothers and sisters, but y'all are hard to deal with sometimes, especially when you come to other places where other African people are. You know, you come with your entitlement, you come with your attitude, you come with your complaining. Like, it's very difficult to deal with y'all because you're American, you know, and that's just the truth. But we love in the same way, you know, but it's just hard to deal with. But Africans love Jamaicans. They love Jamaicans. Ghana, they act just like us. They actually act like us. That's how much they love us. Come on. And
So guys, hope you've watched the full video and you've heard what the lady claims. So yeah, it is true that Jamaican is not in Africa. That is true. That I can totally agree. Jamaica, it is in the Caribbean. It is a Caribbean, second largest country in the Caribbean. That is the truth. But where she went wrong, she just stated that the patois language doesn't associate with English language, with the African language. That one I'm in totally disagreement with her, because the patois has an African words that when someone comes from Jamaica, he or she, when he speaks to you, you are able to communicate in the right direction. You are just in the same page. So whatever the lady was claiming is just some of the critics. Yeah, this is some of the critics that she's just bringing the old, the gone. Remember, gone are those days where we used to have racism. Remember, in the past, there was a colony. So when the colonizers came to Africa, they came and took this Africa, and they went with them, and they used them as slaves in their plantation. So she claims that Marcus Garvey and Bob Marley, they are not Jamaican. They are from China. So I wonder, when you even look at Bob Marley nature, Bob Marley is just on a different level that you can't just compare Bob Marley or Marcus Garvey with the Chinese. So this lady, I don't know what came over her, but she's just on the racial side, that she is trying to to inject something unnecessary into our minds that Jamaica, it has okay, whatever she's trying to claim is that Jamaica has just stole the Irish culture. Well, this is very wrong. But the good thing is that Jamaican people came up and stand and say that no, you can't teach us our culture and we know our history. Again, she claims that you cannot be in Jamaica without a passport. Yeah, you will be deported immediately. When you your plane lands at the airport, you are just going to be deported. You are going to book another flight. You go back to where you came from. Remember, this has not been going on because we all know the Jamaica have their good-hearted people and the hospitality in them. We all know, yeah, because we in this channel we have been seeing a lot of people going around praising Jamaica. So one person cannot just come up and just criticizing the Jamaican. So remember, in China we have got so many dirty things that's going on. Remember the Jamaican culture, they don't eat dogs, they don't eat snakes. Yeah, those wild meats, they don't do them because in Jamaica we have so fresh meats, fresh fish, and we have good relationship they have good relationship with Africa. Remember, a place you can visit without being asked where are you from due to your color, it is in Jamaica, because the link up and the bond between the Jamaicans and Africans, it is brotherhood, and no one can't intimidate it and say that they are not related. Remember, we are related. Even the Jamaicans too said Africa is their motherland. For someone to praise your country and saying it is your motherland, it is not. It is something that you can't just wake up in the morning and you say a particular country or a particular continent, it's my motherland, but they are originally from here. We love our brothers from Jamaica. We love all the black American in the diaspora. But whatever it is going on, it is that we continue spreading the one love that our ancestors left for us. Remember, I have said not more than once that the greatest commandment that God left to us, it is love. When we love each another, remember, keeping peace. Again, peace and love, they are two coordinating things. They go together back to back. So my brothers in the Caribbean, I just want to urge you that let's keep on defending our own dignity, our culture, and our country. Remember, the bonding, it is something that cannot be divided and derived from our minds. We know each other that we are brothers, and let no one intimidate us. It has been a good call up, and you stood very firm and confronted this lady that she has no right to confront us, because her too has been living in the Jamaica for the past few years, but due to your hospitality is the one that makes her being there. So she stops talking about or teaching us about the culture and history of Jamaica. That's all for now. I'm your host, Bran Masika. Remember, keep on following, keep on interacting, and I'll be glad. So without forgetting, remember to like, comment, and not forgetting to subscribe. Let's grow together. And this is to my people. Let's keep on watching. One love. God loves us. Wagwan. Till next time.